In the modern world, there is a lot of misbehavior. People constantly killing people, going drunk driving, doing all that. And this means that more and more people are going to be executed. Now, right now, lethal injection is not enough to cover this amount of people. As more and more people will be getting executed, we need to go over the best execution method for 2024 and onwards. First thing we need to do is go over the three eras of execution. The first era is the ancient era. In this era, they use things like hanging, crucifixion, burning at the stake, and decapitation. Those were only the popular ones, though. There's also sawing, stoning, and impalement, which we'll talk about later. These were used mostly because they didn't have any fancy technology or anything. They're just trying to kill people, and that's very valid. Next up, be going up the second era. The second era had things like the guillotine, firing squad, and electric chair. I kind of pushed everything like from 1700s to 1900s in this, but this is mostly due to the rise of technology, the French Revolution, bringing new ideas about execution and all that. I'd also like to mention decapitation is still popular, and concentration camps also became a popular way to execute people. Finally, we have the third era. The third era involves the most boring method, lethal injection. But the main thing about this era is that countries have just stopped executing people. I mean, all but one European country has stopped executing people. That is not enough. This is why this is the worst era by far. This is why what 2024 and 2025 can improve on. Let's go over how. The first important thing we need to go over is the cost of execution. So, firstly, lethal injection, the most boring method, is also one of the most expensive methods. It costs $90 per execution. And let's say we have to execute 50,000 people. That's around $4.5 million. That's a whole ton of money. And that could be given to like charity or something. So, let's move on. Firing squad, the only thing we're accounting here is the cost of the bullet, since we're going to assume police officers and prisons already have guns and crap. One bullet costs like around 33 to 50 cents. I'm assuming it's like something cheap, like 9mm, not like a 50 caliber. And let's assume that there's a chance they miss it. So 1.5 bullets per person. So that's like 60 cents. 60 cents per person. Alright, that's valid. That's a lot better than lethal injection. Next up, though, we have the guillotine, which, after you get it, it's free. But, by my estimates, it would cost around $2,000 to make a guillotine. So you would need to execute 3,333 people to catch up to the efficiency of the firing squad. Next up is the electric chair, which also costs $2,000 to make, but it isn't free since you need to use a lot of electricity to kill the person, and also has a tendency to sometimes not work, which we'll get on to that part later, alright? Next up is decapitation. Decapitation is free as long as you have an axe. And axes, well, they can cost a lot. They're a lot less than $2,000. So out of all the modern methods, decapitation is the best. But we're not accounting for the other methods, such as the ancient methods like stoning, hanging, crucifixion, burning at the stake. Hanging, you need a rope. Crucifixion, you need a cross. Burning at the stake, you need a stake and some fire. That's why stoning is the best. Stoning, you only need some stones. You just have to throw it at people, alright? So, this isn't accounting, though, for the pain it will cause, though, which we will get in the next section. Now, you might be asking, hey, why do we not always just stone people to death instead of, like, paying $90 to kill them? And the reason why is pretty simple. Getting stoned to death really hurts. If you've ever, like, got hit by a stone, then you probably know it hurts. Lethal injections, on the other hand, it just goes into your skin and you're just dead. You don't feel any pain really, just fall asleep. So most people will consider that method. I personally don't. They'll already be dead, so I don't give a shit. But other people do. I'll go over a few of the methods and their implications on pain and all that. Firing squad, just one bullet to the head and you're dead. Guillotine, the entire point of that was to be no pain. Electric chair, you'll be electrocuted for a few seconds, it's fine. Decapitation, if they do it right, then you should just die. This means that maybe stoning isn't the best option, but maybe that's up to thought. I would like the comments to debate what is the best execution method. Now you may be asking, why is this relevant to me? Why should I care about how prisons kill people? The reason is prisons cost tax money to pay, and every time you pay tax money to go towards those lethal injections that are paid for, the US government is actively losing money and getting scammed by like Pfizer and whatever, Eli Lilly and all those pharmaceutical giants. So we need to help bring back execution methods like guillotines, firing squads, decapitations, stonings, crucifixion, and all that. If you can help me by going into the comments and spreading the word of this video by liking, subscribing, and commenting, or even disliking. Disliking helps engagement, actually. It's a common misbelief. Disliking helps me grow. I saw that from my first video, trust me.